And it's the Screen Team here on Today's Talk 930 KWOC and 93.3 on your FM dial. It's Saturday at 6 p.m. I'm being joined by the original Screen Teamers, the ones from the very, very beginning. We've got...
Finally.
I know. We got the very beautiful Sabrina J. and the very beautiful Michael Hibbler in the studios.
He's pretty.
It's good to be back.
It's good to have you, Mike.
I appreciate it.
You look a lot better than you did last weekend.
What was last weekend?
Yeah, what happened last weekend?
We filmed a video, made ourselves look like monsters, like zombies.
You mean the oozing, gaping hole in my head wasn't very appealing?
I liked it.
No, it was amazing. Everyone loved it.
I'm so surprised at how many people just really loved that synthetic cotton gaping hole that I created on your neck.
Well, I mean, and plus, it going to be in black and white. It looked amazing.
It was fun.
So
we had good times.
Very good times, and we'll be having that video up shortly. It's all to promote the new haunted house here in town, right?
That's right. One of the haunted features coming this fall to Poplar Bluff is going to be put on by the Kiwanis Club, and it's all to bring a new toddler area, a playground set to the Bacon Park here in Poplar Bluff.
So they don't have that, so...
Well, every kid's got to have a toy to play on.
Well, age limit, not every kid can use the bigger stuff, so it's good that they have it. It's for safety, too. So.
True. All right, guys, we've got a good show. We've got Michael's picks today.
Yeah, we do.
And you picked Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Mm-hmm. You also chose Lone Survivor and one of the greatest movies of all time, The Godfather.
We already know Chris and I are going to like
The
that
Godfather,
one.
yes.
Sabrina's going to butcher it.
So let's talk about The Godfather.
I am so useless this time.
Let's talk about The Godfather. Most people have seen The Godfather, but for those who haven't, we're going to try to explain it and say why it is so awesome.
Now you had your drink.
So awesome. The movie is based on the book of the same name. It was written by Mario Puzo. Mm-hmm. The film stars Marlon Brando as Vito Corleone. It stars it's got Sonny Corleone and Michael Corleone. And
Al Pacino, James Caan, Robert Duvall.
Yeah.
Directed by Francis Ford Coppola.
Man, great cast, great director.
And it launched those guys' careers.
Yeah, it even launched Francis Ford Coppola's career.
Exactly.
He was starting.
And how he worked on that with that kind of pressure, because they actually had a backup director from Paramount following him around on set just in case they wanted to fire him on the spot. Yeah. Imagine working under that kind of stress.
Yeah. I don't think there would be many people alive.
Paramount hated Al Pacino, thought he was too boring.
They wanted to fire him, too.
Up until they saw the scene where he shot the police chief in the restaurant.
Solanzo, yeah.
And then they are like,
Wait, he shoots him? I'm just kidding.
That's fine. It's a new one coming out. But yeah, no, it's...
So, Michael, let's talk about The Godfather. Obviously, this is a film that deals with a lot of different subjects. The main subjects are the underworld of being a gangster, but also has to do with family.
Yeah.
What makes The Godfather so great as a movie?
There's a lot of different things. It's not that you sit down and watch it and it's just a good movie, because to me it's a fantastic movie. Mm-hmm. But looking at it, at least through my eyes, I see great acting, I see great directing, great writing, great storytelling. It has all the components of an outstanding movie. Even though it's slower in a lot of parts. It's not a fast-paced movie. To me, the story, even though it's slower, is fascinating, and it keeps me entertained. Mm-hmm. And I love the feel of the movie. I mean, it just has an amazing feel that Coppola did an amazing job with his team putting that together. So, and probably most people listening right now have seen it. But if you haven't, you definitely need to see it. I mean, yeah, it is rated R. But... it's, like you said, there's a big family feel to it, and you'll really, and I know that we're not reviewing the second and third one, but the second and the whole saga does a good job tying in to the entire first one as well. Yeah. So I'd watch those as well if you haven't seen them.
Definitely, for sure. One of the main things I love about it is definitely the family element. Of course, I like the gangster element. I like the, the fighting and the shooting and all that kind of stuff. But it's the family. It's the, one of my favorite scenes, and we were watching this, the other day, is when Michael Corleone gets a call from his girlfriend, Kay, played by Diane Keaton. And
tell me you love me.
Yeah, all that happens. And
I can't do that right now.
Very nice. He gets made fun of, but after that, he's being talked to by Clemenza, and he's like, "Come here, I'm gonna show you how to cook for
the meatballs,
for a whole bunch of guys."
Yeah, that
and,
was awesome.
That just it's the family.
Well, and each character has an amazing story in and of themselves, and they're fascinating, and how each character is shown very clearly. They're all different. You've got Sonny, the hothead, Michael, who's very, very calm and cool, the war hero. But he's brave, even though he's calm and cool.
Right.
And that's what builds Michael Corleone, as you see later in the second and third one, at the end of the first one, and then to the second and third one.
Yeah. And that's probably one of the great-est arcs in cinema history is seeing Michael Corleone, played by Al Pacino.
The development is amazing. Yeah.
Like you said, he's just this bright-eyed, I don't want to say bright-eyed, but he's kind of a shy, quiet kid. He just returned back from, the World War II. He wants to get his life going with
He did
Kay
not expect at all that life to have that life. He was expecting a family type life with Kay, and he didn't want to be part of the family business. And it wasn't until his father was shot that something snapped in his head, and that's when he wanted to get revenge, and it started building. And and Vito, he knew that Michael was smart and he was calm. That's the key: is patience and calmness, not being a hothead. Because Sonny was too hot.
Yeah,
and we got to get him now. We got to get him. Bada beep, bada boom. You blew the brains all over your nice Ivy Leagues. But that's
imagine trying to watch this movie with these two people.
So
they say all the lines before they come across the screen, moments before it happens. They're all in the kitchen getting a snack, and they're repeating the lines or saying it along, and it's like an unbelievable experience. So if you ever have the pleasure of watching these movies with these two yahoos right here, I would highly recommend it.
Yeah. Well, Sabrina, obviously you haven't seen this film as much as Michael and I have, but you have seen it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the film?
Well, I probably saw it before either one of you ever saw it.
That's probably true.
But, I can't remember that far back, so I would say that getting to watch it as the wife / at one time girlfriend of Chris Berger put a whole new perspective on the movie, because it's not something that as a typical I don't even know what to call myself when it comes to those kinds of movies. It's just, that's not something I ever would have said, I need to sit down and watch this again. It just didn't fit into my lifeline.
Well, I think you were kind of a normal viewer.
I was just a normal, maybe. But I learned to appreciate a whole lot more about this movie through you, Christopher.
You've even got to see the video game in action as well.
That's the problem, okay?
Awesome. I love the first and second one.
Chris has this video game system. What is that called?
PlayStation 2. It's way old.
And
yes.
it's the only one he has right now that works. He's never had the 3 or the 4 or the 5 or whatever else is out there. But when we were dating, it was, let's go hang out at Chris's apartment and play video games.
That is awesome.
And what did he play? He played The Godfather. And so I watched him create this character of Chris Berger in this world of The Godfather, and that's how I learned to appreciate.
You need to play the second one. It's just Grand Theft Auto mixed with Mafia.
It's just,
I never got a chance to play that one.
It has all the characters in it, just like the movie. It has everything the movie has, except for now he's the main character.
Yeah, I know. That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
I would hear the musical pieces from the movie, and I would, exactly.
Yeah.
And now whenever I was watching the movie with him the other night, I couldn't get my head away from this daggum game. And I'm like, I kept waiting to see him hop in a car and take off somewhere and find a safe house and all this kind of stuff, and none of that was happening in the movie.
That's awesome she said that.
So anyway, I like the movie. It's still not something I want to choose to go and just watch because it's awesome.
I do.
I just I appreciate it because you guys think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And
it's a great movie.
It's not a family movie.
No,
it's not a kid movie. Keep it away from them. It's very violent.
Man, I think we could talk about this for hours.
But we don't need to.
We don't need
I won't
to.
play the game now.
Cinematically
Come on
speaking,
over.
I'm going to tell you one thing. It is very impressive. It's a very impressive
It is.
movie.
It's a long movie, but like I said, it keeps me wanting to see more. So.
Coming up, we'll have more for you. We'll review the new movie to DVD, Lone Survivor. That's next on Today's Talk, 930 KW.